Hey, my name is Gwendolyn Austin. I'm the producer of Speaking of Your Health, Philadelphia's urban community connection, yes. And a community consists of a lot of things to make it healthy. And right now, I'm giving them some history. So why don't you tell me who you are and why you're here at the expo?
Well, I'm Eugene Richardson, a Tuskegee Airman. And I'm here to tell the public about the history of Tuskegee Airmen, how well black men performed in combat, and as a result of that, President Truman issued an executive order stopping segregation in the armed forces of the United States.
Really?
After the armed forces were segregated, then that gave permission, it opened up a lot of other pathways for desegregation. And many great things happened. School segregation was ruled illegal. In the 60s we had the Voting Rights Act, the Public Accommodations Law, where blacks could go to any restaurant and use their laboratories in the public facilities. And all these things happened because of the great performance of Tuskegee Airmen.
All right.
We received the Congressional Gold Medal, President Bush.
Oh, God bless you. Yeah.
In 1906 or 07. And it talks about the excellent combat record that Tuskegee Airmen compiled in combat during World War II.
How long were you in the service?
I was in for 3 years.
And how old were you when you enlisted?
Well, I got my wings. Well, look, I enlisted when I was 18. Here's my class picture. I got my wings in March of 1945.
Let me zoom in here, see how I can. Oh, there
19.
you are.
I was 19.
19.
I got my wings.
Look at you.
Yes.
God bless you, and we thank you for all that you've done and the roads that you've opened for us. And you be blessed.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure. I've been blessed. Thank you.
I know.
First of all, my name is Sonia Searcy, and I'm the secretary of the Tuskegee organization. I got nominated in December, and they swore me in last Wednesday. I'll be the secretary for 2 years.
Wow.
And the very first female African-American woman my recruiter put in the Navy.
In the Navy?
I was the very first female African-American woman my recruiter put in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
I was stationed in Puerto Rico and Virginia Beach, and I made some t-shirts up also. It says, I may not have gone to college, but the military gave me knowledge.
All right.
My second t-shirt said, when I was at the post office, said, we working 6 to 7 days a week, 8 to 9 months a year, 10 to 12 hours a day until you retire and drop dead. And then on the back it said, ain't nothing but a pizza, ain't mean postal. Yes, ma'am. First of all, we just came back from Girls High 2 weeks ago. 9 of us showed up in uniform, and we was at Girls High School in Germantown for 3 different segments, talking to the ladies that's in different grades. They were very nice and polite. As they got finished, we all stood up and spoke politely to everybody. We told them to stay in school, go to college,
That's right.
and be all you can be. Respect your parents, respect your dad, and respect your teachers. We also told them, y'all very smart young ladies, think for yourselves. Do not let anybody persuade you into doing anything you cannot do.
That's right.
And then after that it was done, they all came up, shook our hands, and took our pictures with their cell phone cameras.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Beautiful. And that's what our young people need.
Yes, ma'am.
People to come back and let them know that they can do different.
Yes, and I volunteer at the VA hospital 3 days a week to get back to my troops.
Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your service.
Yes, yes.
Now, wasn't the gunpowder that they had it in, wasn't it grease with cow?
It could be. It could be. Now, what happened was the British had another gun. And in India, Enfield, yes ma'am. The British had another gun, the Enfield.
Hindus and Muslims wouldn't fight in the war because of the conflict with their food culture. So they had to bring the British back that was fought in the Opium War in China and to help with that war.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What happened was they would coat the paper cartridges with pork grease, right? So they would take Muslims from one area of India and bring them into another area of India so they could fight against the Hindus, right? While the English lay back and watched. They did the same thing in Africa. We did the same thing in America. We tried to get the Creeks to fight against the Seminoles. We tried to get the Shawnee to fight against the Iroquois. So we did the same thing too. But this was a big issue because, you know, Islam, you can't eat no pork. So you send them there, they getting ready to fight. Oh, no, no, no. We can't be biting the top off of this boy. It's got pork grease on it. So it was called the Sepoy War.
Right, the sepoy.
The Sepoy War. And Islam and the British Army all said, no, we ain't touching them bullets. And it caused a big confusion and consternation.
Them or something, like putting a cannonball in them.
Well, you know, they tried to force them,
Right.
but they wouldn't. You know, once you get in your religion and you say you got pork on the bullets, I'm not going to the devil or wherever, you know, because you got pork on the bullets. So it was a big problem for the British. Eventually they switched to metal jackets like we got now.
Right.
So when you go to metal jackets, then you don't have to have no grease. You know.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Muskets are supposed to be notoriously inaccurate.
They
How
are.
close you have to be to shoot somebody with that thing?
All right, this is a very inaccurate one, right? 50 yards. At 50 yards, I'm hitting what I'm shooting at. Past 50 yards, and it's even more for me to really hit what I'm shooting at. When I put my bullet in, I gotta wrap it in cloth. Right? So I got my bullet, it's wrapped in cloth, and then I ram the whole thing down, and as it goes down, it's down real tight because it's a bullet and a cloth. So when I wrap it in, I ram it on down, it's in there real tight. Because it's in real tight, when it shoots, it'll keep its position. If you don't wrap it in cloth, then the last place it hit when it leaves the muzzle, you turn where it goes. Left, right, left, up, down, up. Yeah. But they came up with a new one, the rifled musket that could shoot 360 yards. So one of the bad things about the Civil War, everybody lined up in a big row, right? Side by side. Here we go. We all marching. Everybody say, they got these kind of guns. They ain't going to shoot no more than one person at a time. But when they got the new guns, they shoot through 6 people in a row. Just like that. Bam, 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 bam. Bop, 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 bop. It became almost impossible to operate under the old system. And then that's when they started digging what we call foxholes in trenches and tunnels like that. So we think of the trenches to be in World War I, but they actually started Civil War. And of course, guess who got to dig most of the trenches? That's right, African Americans. No, because we don't really want y'all to shoot nobody. I mean, who y'all gonna shoot? The enemy. Well, yeah, but no. 1861, they wouldn't even let us in the army. Couldn't be in there. You go do something else. Wasn't until 1863 when they invaded Pennsylvania. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, y'all can be in the army. And they continued on that thing. You know, when we got to World War I, the famous Buffalo Soldiers, they fought against Geronimo. They fought against Victorio. They chased Pancho Villa. They were the first park rangers. That's right. And of course, they fought in Puerto Rico. They fought in Cuba. San Juan Hill. The Buffalo Soldiers saved that dog. What's the guy's name? Teddy Roosevelt. They saved him.
Can I say something
Certainly.
about Teddy Roosevelt? Teddy Roosevelt never, ever had 1 minute of military training. The same way with George Washington. George Washington never, 3 times he was turned down for commission in the British Army. Why? They said he wasn't fit to be a soldier. So I just want to share that because that's a little known fact. Teddy Roosevelt, that's when he had that famous picture with Frederick Douglass. And they were trying to understand why you take, not Frederick Douglass, Booker T. So why are you taking a picture with this man? Mainly because he knew it was brothers that won the Battle of San Juan.
Dinner at the White House.
That's right.
The Ku Klux Klan went crazy. You shall know what's wrong with that man. We're going to have to kill 10,000 black people to get these people back in their place. I don't know why he did that. But even worse, when World War I comes, they said, Buffalo Soldiers, y'all can't go to Europe. We have fought in the Philippines, that was okay. Puerto Rico, Cuba, that was okay. Indians, that was okay. But now it's time to go to Europe and y'all can't go. What do you mean we can't go? We don't want y'all. North Carolina, militia, New York militia, but the battle-hard regular federal soldiers, the black regular soldiers, 25th Infantry, 24th Infantry, 9th and 10th Cavalry was not allowed to go to Europe for World War I. You know why? Exactly. Who you gonna shoot?
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for adding that too, brother. So come on, take a look at our exhibit. If any questions, we're here to help.
And why don't you tell me who you are and what you're doing?
Well, ma'am, my name is Joe Beckton, and I'm one of the members of the 3rd Regiment United States Colored Troops of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's our mission to inform the public about the work and the service of African Americans in the United States, especially during the war between the states.
That's beautiful. Now let's go through your exhibit. See, you have a lot of exhibits over here. Why don't you tell us what they're about? Let's start over here.
Well, this is the part of our exhibit where we emphasize the equipment that was issued to the individual soldier. You know, we don't think about it a lot, but you know, they left us messages. Remember that song? I got shoes, you got shoes, all got shoes got shoes. Remember that one?
Yeah.
We hear that today. We say, what were they, stupid? What are they talking about? People didn't have shoes. You was enslaved, you didn't have no shoes. You might got shoes once a year. So when you join the army and you got this pair of shoes,
All right.
Brogans, they call it.
All right.
Brogans, these are good shoes. How good are they? When I was in 5th grade, my parents bought me a pair of Brogans.
We used to call them Brogan.
Brogan,
The
yeah.
cap on the front.
That's right.
There you go.
You know them. I didn't think you were that old.
Oh yeah, I remember Brogan. Tap on the front, tap on the back.
Yeah. Not that we was violent. They're really good. You had to kick somebody.
I was thinking that in my mind. Good job.
But these shoes last so well. My mother bought me in 5th grade. When I started 6th grade, I had the same shoes. All the kids yelling, "You got Frankenstein shoes on! Frankenstein shoes on!" Your shoes, your socks, 100% wool.
All right.
Like 100% wool socks. Here we go. 100% wool. Now outside of your socks, you got your union suit. Now everybody says, don't all that wool itch you? How can you stand all that itchy wool? Well, guess what?
And itchy wool kept you warm, huh?
Itchy wool ain't touching me. Look at it. Look how far down to go. And then people say, well, how you go to the bathroom?
Uh-oh.
Make sure you wipe real quick.
There's plenty of leaves out there, sir.
Today's soldiers have to drop down in the back.
I don't know. Union suit was what we call this.
Okay.
That's what kept all that itchy wool off it, right?
You wore that next to your skin?
Yes.
Okay.
You might remember these from the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I remember
Every
those.
time Bugs Bunny blows up Elmer Fudd, you see him in his red underwear. Shoes.
Now, I was here yesterday and the gentleman told me that the shoes, there's no left and no right on
That's
the
correct,
shoes.
ma'am. Take a look. No left, no right. See how they look?
Uh-huh. And when they look like they're left and right, then that means they're worn. They've
Right.
been worn that
We
way.
had them for so long.
Yeah.
These are
yeah.
5 years old, so they're starting to get that way.
Okay.
They're hard.
Okay.
They hard.
Okay.
Your coat. This is called the shag coat.
Yes.
100% wool. Right?
Uh-huh.
4 buttons. Your bag, your haversack. This is
Okay.
where you keep your belongings. One of the most important things to these guys was reading. As soon as they found out they were free, one of the first things they want to do is get schools.
Okay.
Because they know that somebody might write a piece of paper, pass it to somebody else, $1,000 might come across the table.
Okay.
What are they doing? what they're doing. You got to know how to read,
Yes.
so you'll know what to do.
That's right.
So books were important. Musical instruments was important.
All right. And that was not a recording, right?
No, ma'am, that was not a recording.
That was the real deal.
Real harmonica.
Thank you so much. Now, if we wanted to contact you to come out to a school or community organization, how would we do that?
Well, I'll give you one of our flyers over here. It has our website and our telephone contact information and an announcement about our next big event, April 6th and 7th at historic Fort Mifflin in Philadelphia.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Hi, I'm Brad Hill, president of the Philadelphia chapter of the World War II Black Navy Veterans. We're an organization similar to the Tuskegee Airmen, where we try to keep the history alive of those Afro-American sailors who served on World War II, even including the history of Dory Miller, who ended up shooting down Japanese bombers and planes that bombed Pearl Harbor. So we try to keep the history alive concerning those men who served. We come out to schools and churches and organizations. You may reach me at 215-342-4212 or email me at boazandruthpartnership@hotmail.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
But tell me about the lady that was in the bomber. You know, I didn't know there were women back then that were pilots.
We had women who were pilots. Also, women flew the planes over that the Tuskegee Airmen flew during the missions over in Italy. So the women would leave the states, fly the planes over to them, and the men in the Tuskegee Airmen Flyer Corps would fight with those planes that were delivered by women. We also now have a Rear Admiral Michelle Howard, the first Afro-American woman who is command of a vessel. We had a young man that you can see on our table who used to be in my brother's Civil Air Patrol. He's now a lieutenant commander, the executive officer of the USS Maryland, a submarine. So we're also partnering with the Sea Cadets out of Benjamin Franklin High School to help bridge the past, the present, and the future.
Beautiful.
So life in the Navy is doing well, and those men and women who served during World War II have been instrumental with opening the doors for those who serve today.
That's right. That's right. And thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that information.
Thank you.
That's your proclamation?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we start with your name and what's going on?
My name is Marcina Munchen, and I am a disabled veteran from the Army. Last week was the 50th anniversary for the Vietnam War, and our organization was selected as one of the organizations to receive a presidential proclamation, the state proclamation, and the city proclamation from New York City.
Wow. What's the name of the organization?
Veterans are still warriors.
All right.
And
Where are you located?
we're located in Manhattan in the Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs.
Okay, so you help disabled veterans?
I help all veterans.
Okay, okay.
Yes. I've been a veterans advocate for 30 years.
Oh, God bless you, honey.
So it's a long road,
Yeah.
but it's worth it when you see veterans be able to answer the call and make themselves fulfilled, make their families happy, and have that the pride in themselves that this too shall pass.
Thank you so much. And what's your name again?
Marcina Munchin.
Marcina Mundy, pretty name. And thank you for being here, and thank you for your service to our country and to us.
You're welcome.
Your name, who you are, and why you're here.
Well, I'm here at the behest of my son, Gary Shepherd. My name is Calvin Shepherd. And we were here I expected to see some more of my comrades here at the table.
They were here yesterday.
That's what I'm told. But yesterday I was in Michigan. I just got in last night.
Okay.
So I missed my comrades. So I'm going to have to link up, especially one who was in boot camp.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you made it. And who are you representing?
Whom am I?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not really representing anyone except maybe if you want to call it Marine Corps League. I belong to the Marine Corps League.
That's what I mean, right.
And I'm the Moffett Port Detachment.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. We thank you for your service, and we thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for your efforts.
Thank you. Right now, go ahead.
I heard you ask the question, who's it representing? My
Yes.
dad is an original Moffett Point Marine, and they were the first black Marines in the country. Back in 1941, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed an executive order that basically broke the color barrier in the Marine Corps. And then in 1942, they started recruiting African Americans to be Marines. He went in 1943 at Montford Point, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And they received the Congressional Gold Medal, which is the highest civilian honor, back in June of 2012.
Oh, God bless. All right, now I want to get a picture of both of y'all together now. Just walk on over. I'm going to follow you here.
And here's the medal right here.
Oh, that is really nice. That's huge. Wow. Father and son.
Now, may I ask if you're representing someone, or is this your personal?
No, I'm the president of Cathedral Park Association Community Organization, also production manager for Philly Cam, and I'm getting footage, and prayerfully it will go on the internet and be viewed.
Thanks again for your.
You're welcome. Take care.